have to hear this. The islands of Tinian and Saipan were in the eye of the storm for over 6 hours. What does that mean? Well, you think, oh, the storm is gone. There's no wind. I can get out of my house. No, no, no. The storm, it was really unusual. And I will explain to you why in this video. It slowed down to 5 miles per hour right over the islands, giving people a false sense of the security. They thought, oh, now the wind is gone. No, it wasn't. And that's what makes it so bad. So this is going to be highly interesting. The strongest storm on Earth, Sinlaku, that typhoon, guys, what it did now is really, really strange. And I want to show you this post that I saw, and it was alarming. They said this is very, very unusual, very, very strange that it did that. And they said it was stopping over the islands, North Mariana Islands, over Saipan and Tinian for 6 hours. So they were in the eye of the storm for 6 hours, as you see here in the time lapse. So I have to say, it wasn't really like standing there for 6 hours. It was, we can say, well, let me say it that way. This monster of a storm has slowed down dramatically over the islands of Saipan and Tinian, and then the eye kept wobbling nearby, and it has dragged destructive winds across the islands for hours. And that's why the warning was like, stay inside, don't believe the calm if you're in the eye of the storm, right? You think, oh no, it's calm, let's get out, assess the damage. No, that's why, stay inside, because more is about to come. So I want to give you a current devastation update, because this typhoon was like a category 5 hurricane. Hurricane is just another word for something like this, right? So we see the headlines. Parts of Northern Marianas could be without power for weeks after this typhoon. Super Typhoon Sinlaku pounds remote U.S. islands in the Pacific Ocean with ferocious winds. We see headlines, strongest storm on the planet bearing down on the U.S. islands in the Western Pacific. Saipan and Tinian are the hardest hit. We've heard about Guam in my last video. Entire islands are dealing with widespread destruction right now. It's really crazy. We're talking about roofs being ripped off, homes damaged, trees uprooted, cars stacked on top of each other. That's what residents are basically telling us. Cars flipped, power lines down, roads are blocked, and they're in some areas impassable. So we're talking about serious structural damage, not minor storm impact. I have to make that clear. And you see the videos behind me. We have power and infrastructure collapse. Large part of these islands have absolutely no electricity, no water in some areas. And it makes it even harder if you're sitting on a remote island. The officials are warning, and that's what I don't really like that much. The outages could last weeks. Around 50,000 people are affected by the outages, and the critical situation, that is really, really bad. Talking about hospital, the main hospital in Saipan is flooded, and that's why if you have that much damage and hurt people and you have your hospital incapacitated, that is really, really bad. So it's flooded. And the emergency response right now has slowed already because we have roads blocked, we have storm conditions, right? And that's a major, we have to call it like a red flag situation that they're facing there. We have a lot of people that are displaced right now. We have more than 1,000 residents that are in shelters, thankfully, because when they knew that the storm was coming, they could give evacuation orders. They said, if your home is wood or metal roof or anything else, get out, get to safer places. And even in concrete homes, people were telling us the storm was coming in, balconies were ripped off of homes. So aside from that, also the flooding, the storm surge that comes with a storm like this, especially when you're on an island. Many homes are flooded, they're structurally compromised. It's not clear if people can even return to these homes or if they have to be torn down and rebuilt. And that's why I'm saying the flooding, and there's long-term damage. We had up to 20 inches, that's 500 millimeters of rain. That is absolutely insane in a short period of time. Plus a storm that got so strong in just 30 hours. Incredibly strong, unusually strong, so fast. So what we have right now is still ongoing flooding. We have debris everywhere, and we have landslide risk if the soil is so soaked. So we had landfall winds. When it made landfall, we can say I think it was rather category 4 than 5, but still winds 145 to 150 miles per hour. Some say even 175 miles per hour. And the earlier peak, which is category 5 equivalent, was 180 miles per hour. So right now, this is the strongest storm on Earth this year. Hopefully it remains the one, but the problem is this is so early in the season and we already have such a bad one. Guam situation, it wasn't directly hit, but it also got a lot of flooding, strong winds and power issues that are still reported. So this wasn't just like a one-hit wonder, we have to say, like a one-hit and go storm. It has slowed down. And that it has lingered around the islands, and it kept the condition dangerous for hours, which is why the damage is so widespread and the recovery will probably take a lot longer. So not just a powerful as the usual storm, because it has slowed down over the islands. What a bad guy, we have to say, right? By slowing down, it has prolonged the destruction, and it has prolonged the winds, the surge, and the impact on the structures on the island, right? And now, if you're on an island, you don't have power, you don't have access to clean water, that's really a problem, I have to say. Infrastructure failure. And then there is the problem. How do you get help to that island? Water by boat, by air. But first the wind needs to go away. We can expect strong winds for a few more days. Some said even a week or something like that, right? So weeks long recovery, people being without necessary infrastructure for so long, that is the secondary effect that can really cause a lot of problems. And I said it in my last video, when the storm hit, they were hit with a 5.5 magnitude earthquake. If you want to know why, check out my other video. But we can say, okay, the storm has moved away right now, but the crisis is just starting. Right now, Sinlaku is pulling north away from Saipan and Tinian. It is still strong. We have to say that. It's still 120 miles per hour. That is 200 kilometers per hour winds, even while it's leaving. So impact phase, now recovery phase, but still strong winds. So the real disaster that we're seeing now is that infrastructure failure. So it goes from storm story to human crisis story. This is what it is right now. Flooding is way worse than expected. Cars submerged, street turned into rivers. And the flooding continues after the storm left. And the unusual behavior, I have to talk about this again, it slowed down to about 5 miles per hour. Developed multiple eye walls, like the eye wall replacement, stayed in the region for hours. And I want to hint to a possible El Nino development because we have very warm ocean temperatures right now, 30 to 32 degrees Celsius bathtub water. This is really a big thing. So what I can say, this may not be a one-off. It could be the start of a pattern. Thankfully, we have no confirmed human loss so far. So I hope it remains that way. But the damage is severe and the situation is still evolving. So storm is gone, but the real disaster could just be at the beginning.